Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Great to have you here as always. And thank you very much for joining me. Let's let the chat fill up a bit. And then we will be starting with today. Hello, John. Great to see you, mate. How are you? Hope you're good. Great to see you. How are we doing? Anyone else that's joining, please do make sure you drop a like. And yeah, get your comments in. It's great to be back. We are obviously back on the full-time stream schedule. So here we are. Let me just check something. Oh, it's not gone out. Today's newsletter's not gone out today yet. Let's see, who's going to join us? But yeah, that's at the moment, John. It's just me and you on YouTube. I think anyway. We've got some people over on X. If you are watching on X, hello, welcome. Please do make sure you drop a like on the post and head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. It'd be great to have you over there as well as here. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Obviously, today we're going to be reviewing the market, looking at what Bitcoin's doing. You know, we had a sell-off, didn't we, yesterday? So we are currently in a bit of a low time frame correction. If we zoom out of here, we are still massively up from obviously where Stonksy went green initially, which was here at just below $88,000. And we're still plenty up from there, but we have retraced. Obviously, we did top out at a local high of just below 95,000 and corrected. So from that point onwards, from what day was this? Monday, 2 days ago. We're down 3% from there, which is not major. But yeah, we would obviously welcome an uptick from here. We'll cover obviously what is going to happen with Bitcoin, what we think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Let's just let the old chat fill up a bit. Still just me and you, John. Still just me and you fighting for us on YouTube. Let's let some people jump in first. Yeah, it's just me and you. But yeah, let's kick it off anyway. So yeah, obviously, where are we on Bitcoin now? What I do want to do is cover a few different time frames today. You know, look at the low time frame, look at the high time frame, and then look at kind of the super high time frame. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, obviously, this is where we're currently at with Bitcoin. We are stuck, still in this range, as you can see. So we're still in this range and still yet to move out of it. This is obviously where we found support here. Now, what I think personally, I don't know if anyone agrees, is if we was this to be a failed breakout, I think it's likely that we come and take out all this below. So my area of interest would be down towards 85,000 rather than 87 / maybe high to mid 86, because I think, granted that we've come out now, and if you look, we've taken all this upside liquidity here. You know, we swept that there, didn't we? So we swept that. We've had a failed breakout. Now, if we don't do something like this and go up from here and then start to obviously push on from there and definitely flip this as support, you know, what we want to do, even if we don't go up, fast. Oh, what we want is obviously a breakout, and then we want to come down and test this. And obviously this region here, we want this to become support. We want to, even if we, even if we hang around for a bit before going up, we want this region of, kind of 93 to 94 to be flipped as support, rather than, of course, being resistance at the moment. So that's going to be the main thing. If we do that, then even if it's a slow breakout, then, it will come eventually, as long as we stay above there. So that's definitely what we're looking at for the upside. But yeah, personally, I think if this is kind of a failed breakout and all we've done is come and sweep liquidity, then these lows here would be ripe for the taking, is what I'm thinking. And if I just mark that out a bit better here, so them lows there, they look ripe for the taking. So what I'd expect, potentially a drop into here, and then a push back up and go and try and break out the upside. The trader said the legend. Nick, how are we doing? Great to see you. I don't know if YouTube numbers broke, or is it actually just one person watching? I don't know if YouTube numbers are just broke, or there's actually just one person watching. Let me see. Oh, there is. There is. Oh, there's 3 now. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for if it's a failed breakout. If this obviously doesn't turn around, and kind of this is the peak for now, then I'm thinking obviously all these lows can get taken out, which would then just fall us back in towards support. You would like to think and expect that to hold, unless we get some real bloodbath in January, and then we go on for a proper then. And I think obviously given that, we've tried this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, depending on obviously if you count all them, which I personally would, then the 5th time you would think, each time you bash resistance or support, it becomes weaker. The 5th time, hopefully, fingers crossed, should see us break out from there. And then what we want is, obviously after near enough 2 months, is a proper breakout and a proper ascent towards $107,000. That's kind of what I'm thinking anyway, and that's kind of what's in my mind for the time being. Do let me know in the chat what you guys think and kind of what's on your mind. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking something like that, or obviously just go up from here and break out anyway. So, but basically, we're still capped in this range, aren't we? And the good thing is, obviously, you can just trade within this range to support and resistance. This currently, as it stands, is a failed breakout. So that's what we've got to deal with at the moment. And then, yeah, obviously, we've got support down here. So definitely a few unanswered questions for now. And there's definitely lots and lots of possibilities, in terms of how this could play out, particularly over the next kind of few days / week, because of where we are here. From this point on, bar us hanging around for a couple of days like we did here, eventually, obviously, we will either break out or we will drop back below. So that is inevitably coming, isn't it? Even if we do hang around for a couple of days, we spent basically 4 days up here, didn't we, during this period in December. We're currently on the 3rd day here. So whether we carry it on for a couple more days or not, eventually, we'll have a breakout or drop back into the range. And yeah, I think obviously with how these lows look here, I think if we do start to drop back below, those, I think, likely get run again. It's never a certainty, but I think judging on obviously how Bitcoin trades and how the market trades, there will be nice chunks of liquidity below there, and then that should bring us nicely in towards support, which we would like to see hold. If we do get below that, in the event we get below that, then obviously maybe come and fill the wick in. And it's not the great start to January as it first looks. But that's a long way away, isn't it? That's a long way away. At the moment, we are much closer to breaking out than breaking to the downside. So that's what we've got to look at the moment. But on the daily chart, certainly, you can't see clear as day. We have been met with rejection so far. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think in the chat. I mean, so far, we have had a great start to January, haven't we? You know, we had 5 green candles in a row, which has been met by 1, potentially 2 today, red candles afterwards. If you see here, our chunks of liquidity on the heat map on the 24-hour is $91,000. Have a look at the 3-day. What's that saying? The 3 days, yeah, saying the same thing. And then obviously upside is above the highs. On the weekly, down here now, again, you know, that 87,000, that is basically towards the bottom of them lows, in it, them lows that I was just talking about. So you can see on the weekly for sure, you know, there's actually a couple of hotspots, isn't there? You've got a hotspot here at 89, hotspot here around 88, and a hotspot at 87, which lines up perfectly, obviously, with coming in towards these lows. And it would just make sense to just completely run them in some form, whether it is there or into complete support there, and then reversal. And again, that's only, you know, only obviously if we take the downside route. If we're looking upside, you know, we had a look at it, didn't we, on Monday, I think. But the upside lines up. No, it wasn't that one. Was it the 3 month? Not 6 month. Might have been 3 month. Yes. So the upside lines up perfectly, obviously, with that high time frame region of here. You know, around $108,000. So, you know, we get above here, and then the heat map lines up with, obviously, structurally, is that this is the big key SR of the chart to the upside. So yeah, I mean, let me know in the chat what you guys think. You know, even you guys on X, you can still, you know, you can still leave your comments, get comments in, or jump over to YouTube and get your comments in there. And of course, please do drop a like. I don't know why I keep yawning. I don't know why I keep yawning. But yeah, that's what we're currently looking at on Bitcoin anyway. And I do think, you know, when you go and look at the previous January performances, you know, if we go and have a look now, I do already have it marked out, I think. Yeah. So I've already got it marked out. Obviously, you know, you can see this on CoinGlass, can't you? If you want to go and have a look, you know, at the actual just performance laid out on CoinGlass, where it's, you know, in the chart month by month and whatever. But actually looking on the chart, you know, you can see 2020 plus 30%, 2021 plus 14. And this was actually an interesting one because it obviously did go a lot higher than that and then, you know, came all the way back down. 2022 was the only red month of the past 6 years, which is minus 16%. 2023 plus 39, what a time to be alive that was. 2023, very marginal. And again, you know, spiked all the way up to 48 and then came back down. So that in itself was a really good push up on the month, very similar to 2021. Last year, plus 9%, obviously created an all-time high, didn't it? Created an all-time high there. And then, of course, we're on to now. So the trend is up. You know, the trend is January has been green for 5 out of the last 6 years. And obviously, if this January is green, that will be 6 out of the last 7. So the trend is there. You know, the trend is there and the trend is up in January. Again, not to say that we can't have a red January. Of course we could. You know, it's definitely in the realms of possibility. But the recent performance over the past couple of years tells us that it is up. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. What I would say is, if you zoom in on the monthly candle, the monthly candle yet doesn't really have any sort of lower wick. You have to really zoom in. And if you go there, you can see we opened at 87,644 and so far all we've gone down is $100. That's just $100 down in it. So when you actually zoom out, you can't really see any sort of lower wick. Now, this doesn't happen too often. It does happen. We have to go back to basically, that had a lower wick of around about $1,000. So again, not massive. Not massive. This one as well. That had a lower wick of about about $700, $800. Again, this one, not really a large lower wick at all. That was again a couple of $100. It doesn't happen too often where there's basically just no lower wick. And what I think you could say about this one is, even when you zoom out like that, even though these lower wicks are small on these monthly candles here, you can still see them, can't you? You can still see this one here. You can still see that one. The only one you probably can't really see is the 2023 one, there. So are we still yet to create some form of lower wick on the monthly candle as well? That's another possibility. But certainly, hey, here he is, the Wiz. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see you. I just want to check that the tweets have gone out. Did the tweets go out? I haven't had a lot of people join. Normally we do. Yeah. Did one on TMG's go out? Let's see. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, definitely. The January trend is up. We have good performance in January typically, and so far, we are paying tribute to that, aren't we? We are up in January so far by around 4 or 5%. So yeah, we'll see what happens for the rest of the month. But at the moment, there's no real lower wick on the candle. That's where we're up to with that. And I did cover that in the newsletter as well. As soon as the CSE newsletter goes out, if it goes out while we're on stream, we'll have a look at it. If not, make sure you do have a look at the CSE newsletter. Wiz also has a section in the CSE newsletter too. So, make sure you're checking that every single week. It's a really good newsletter. And yeah, now we've got Wiz's input on it as well. He's got his own section. So it's definitely worth reading. And we do cover it on stream every week. It hasn't gone out just yet, but hopefully it'll go out maybe while we're on stream. Unless it has gone out. It's just I know that Ross hasn't put it into the CSE Discord yet, which he normally does. So unless it's gone out and he's just not done that. No, it's not gone out just yet. So hopefully it goes out while we're on stream. But yeah, that's where we're up to anyway. So did a nice stock I like. Oh yeah, so there you go. So for everyone watching, and it is few people, we don't have many viewers today at all. SMCI. Oh, that brings back memories. I bought that when was it? Was it 2020 or 2021 when they had the merger? And I bought that, and it was back when I just first started investing and first started just like kind of understanding investing and stuff like that. And basically, I bought it round about the bottom. Bought it at like $20. Went all the way up to 70. And back then, I just had no idea what buy the rumor, sell the news was. So, I just held on to it basically and ended up selling it for like a 20% gain in the end, or around $30. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't sell it for anywhere near as much as I should have. But yeah, it brings back memories. That was the first ever stock that I bought as well. That was the first ever stock when there was the rumors, obviously, that the merger was gonna. Oh no, sorry, no, it's not. I'm talking about the complete wrong thing, Wiz. I'm talking about the complete wrong thing. I don't know why. SMCI. I don't know why. I was confusing that with this. Is this even CCIV? What's the one for that? What's the ticker for that? I was confusing it with that. I don't know where I got that from. SMCI, yeah, it's not that. I'm talking complete rubbish there. What is? I can't remember. It was I'm sure it was CCIV. Yeah, this was it. Oh yeah, right. LCID. This was it. This was the first one I ever bought, Lucid, when it was merging with Lucid. Yeah, this was the first one I ever bought. And look at the state of that. But I bought it. Will it have the data? No, so it's only got the data from. Oh yeah, this was it. Yeah. No, no, it's not. That's on a different. That's on a completely different scale. Yeah. Anyway, that one CCIV when it merged with Lucid. Yeah, that was the first one I ever bought, and I just kind of held on to it the whole way, and it was great at the time. Did like a 3x, and then yeah, I just never sold it until it come all the way back down. Look at the state of this. Look at the state of this, Lucid. Now, Lucid, I thought had some really big backing. I'm sure, wasn't it backed by like Saudi money and stuff? I'm sure this was like, I'm sure this had like really big backing, Lucid. I'll have a look at the SMCI chart now, though. The SPAC area was class. That's how I bought Palantir at $13. Formerly Lucid Motors. Yeah, so yeah, Saudi money. So the PIF, which remains its largest and majority shareholder as of early 26, owns approximately 54 to 60% of the company. I don't know. I mean, I suppose. How much further can this go down? If this is a SPAC, isn't it like it can't go below $10 or something? Or is that rubbish in my head? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that was it. So Wiz is talking about SMCI. Now, SMCI, you can see straight away, if this is what you're talking about anyway, Wiz, is it's basically come into monthly support. I think if that's what you're looking at anyway, that's what straight away catches my eye when you're looking at the monthly chart. It's straight away, you can see, obviously, barring this big wild wick in November 2024, obviously you can see anyway for the monthly close on this, it closed well above. But particularly, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 last month. So you got 7 months there. You could even count this one as 8, I suppose. Very nearly. Basically dropped into there, didn't it, and bounced a bit. Just 7/8 months, whatever you want to take, of demand coming in within this kind of region, in and around $30, give or take a couple dollars. So yeah, it's definitely within demand on chart for sure, in my eyes anyway. So yeah, is that what you were looking at, Wiz, or is there something else? Really? This could just be building. This could be building a new range, couldn't it? That could be building a new range. Anyway, let's go back over here. What I do want to look at is I don't know why it's just come into my mind, but XYZ's just come into my mind because I'm interested. Has this thing moved yet? No, this thing still hasn't moved. This is just pure pain, isn't it? I mean, I don't really know how much more painful it gets for people than this. Can you imagine holding this thing over the last, say for instance, you're big on Bitcoin and you think, right, I really like Jack Dorsey, I'm going to buy his company Block. Imagine just full porting into that, and for the last 3 years, nearly 4 years, it's just done nothing but go sideways, while Bitcoin's done like a 7x from the bottom. You'd be absolutely pissed, wouldn't you? I mean, it's remarkable that this thing just doesn't move, isn't it? It's actually remarkable. This thing has the ability to trade for nearly 4 years. Mid 2022. So obviously, mid 2026 will be at the 4-year point if it hasn't broken out by then. So currently we're at 3.5 years, but this thing has the ability to trade for 3.5 years and literally go nowhere. It's gone down a bit, it's gone up a bit, but it's still at the same spot. And obviously you can see here, this is basically kind of your control line, in it, if you will. This is where price just is basically pinned to, and it's just a magnet just holding it around about $70. The 4-hour looks nice, breaking above 32. Yeah, it looks good, and especially when you zoom out to the monthly as well. High time frame wise, it's definitely within high time frame demand at the moment. You would think. I would draw the conclusion from that anyway. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what the deal with this is. Anyway, if we move over to back over to Bitcoin, let's go and have a look down here. So yeah, this thing. We'll just wait for the next move on this. I mean, really, the next move on this is obviously either going to be a breakout because of where we're at on a chart, or a retrace back into the range. And that's it. You know, whether it takes today, tomorrow, maybe even the end of the week, if it holds it in and around kind of 92, 93. Obviously, at some point, we're either going to get the breakout, or it's just going to be forced and then drop back into the range. That's where we're up to with that. MSCI ended up closing. Oh, it's up today. Oh, look at that. Ended up closing minus 4% yesterday. Went all the way down. And then just come up. Very nice. Yeah, so that actually pulled itself back up a bit. You know, relative to yesterday, probably retraced all that drop off that it was at minus 4%. Coinbase is in and around 250. Gemmy had a good day yesterday. That seems to have got some life in it again. Circle, $84. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, crypto stocks not really doing anything while they wait for Bitcoin and the rest to do something. Sol is looking good. If you actually look at Sol, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but we did actually look at Sol. I can't remember what day it was. I think it might have been, I think it was like before maybe we went off for Christmas break or what. I can't remember. But basically, like, we were just looking at where it was on the chart. And this is obviously ringing to a nice pattern that we like to look at. I don't know if it's still drawn here or not, no. But we definitely drew out this pattern on it before we went on Christmas break, which is basically obviously just support, resistance, price trades, fake out to the downside, back up, and then eventually, and then break out. And at the moment, we've got 2 ticks. Well, we've got 3 ticks, really. We've got 3 out of 4 ticks on Sol. You've got the range built. You've then got the fake out to the downside. You've got the reclaim. And now you're just waiting for the breakout to the upside. But the Sol chart looks great in my eyes, anyway. I think. Anyone else? I tell you what. I posted a video on TikTok. Look at SanDisk. Let's see. SanDisk. That's the Zingio company. To do all the memory sticks. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Where you get like you used to get the memory sticks off them and stuff for like the USBs and that. Oof. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. So what's happened to this since September? Why is this done like a 8x since September? What is going on there? Oh no, so that is it? Is this the same one that I'm thinking of? The company that used to do bloody all like the memory cards and stuff. Why is my camera just done that? Why is my camera just done that? It's up on the ruling, like, mate, that's crazy, isn't it? Florin, how are we doing? Great to see you. Happy New Year to you, Neil, as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone else that's joined as well. Please do make sure you drop a like. AI memory shortage. Is it the same company, though, that does all the memory cards and that? It must be, mustn't it? SanDisk. We were all the memory cards and stuff like that you used to use for like cameras and whatever. That's crazy. I mean, that is a crazy chart, isn't it? And the fact that it basically gave all year as well, from when it IPO'd there, and then it gave basically just like 6 months of accumulation, and then just goes bang. Like, that is wild. What a chart. What a chart. RAM is in a mega shortage. God damn it. Did you buy anyways? Right, let me see how this is looking. Let me get my camera back on. You just seen the state of the room that I'm. You just seen the state of the room that I'm going in, that I'm streaming in. You see that then? Did you see that? Did you see the state of the room I'm streaming in? Basically, where I am at the moment is my old room in my mum's house, because I was having my asbestos ceilings removed for the past 3 days in my house, so I couldn't go anywhere near my house and couldn't go inside it and stuff. So I had to move my setup and everything over back to my mum's house, and basically, like, it's just full of just like all random rubbish now because I haven't lived there for a few years. So yeah, it's just full of like all random rubbish. And basically, you just got a good look at it of just how stacked it is. Basically, I'm just on my old desk, and there's just stuff. There's just stuff everywhere, and I'm basically just like sat within it on a chair, streaming for you guys. I have some, but not enough. Well, the thing is, even if you got some, that some has done like a 6, 7, 8x. So still not bad. Still not bad to have. Yeah. Oh, did you see this, Wiz? Did you see this over the festive period? I don't know why I didn't just buy some of this when we said we was going to. I like thought about buying this, weren't we, when it was all the way down here, down towards $2, and just naturally this thing just one day just went bang. I'll just do a 2x, and it just went and done a 2x. The thing is, it's holding as well, innit? Like, it's come back down, but it's holding and coming back up. Like, this thing actually looks like it's going to come back towards the highs, like, because there's just nothing there, is there? Like, to the downside, it was literally just like 4 or 5 days of down, and that's it. So that would be crazy. Like, if that actually comes all the way back up here, that would actually be crazy. Yeah, I noticed this over Christmas. That went on a silly run again, and I just thought to myself, why did I not buy some, and why is it scamming again? Yeah, my mate was pestering me to buy, baiting shorts in. Yeah, I should have bought some. You know, when we were saying about it around $2, like, I should have just bought some. I don't know why I didn't. Again, yet another thing of could have bought it, but I just decided against it. Hey, it's Steve-O. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you, Steve-O. How are we? Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Let me know in the chat what you'd like me to cover next. How's the home cooking doing? How's that home cooking doing? Well, my house. Yeah. So actually, today was the last day that the asbestos people were in removing it. So that's now done, and now we can start putting the house back together. So the electrics start tomorrow. So the electrics will be done for kind of the rest of the week. Then next week, plumbers coming, putting a new boiler in, doing a central heating test, doing a radiator flush, and then the plasterboard will go up on the ceilings, and then the plasterer will start this time next week. And then obviously after all the house is plastered, then it can be painted, and then it is really full steam ahead. STX would be nice. Dumping coming. Let's see, STX. So this thing, I'm actually interested to see how this thing has been trading, because this thing is obviously a Bitcoin kind of project in it. And it used to trade very, very closely to Bitcoin. And actually used to trade really well. Like, it was a very strong coin. However, actually, if you look at that, from what I've just pulled up, it actually came all the way back into my level. So yeah, there you go. Look at that. You know what? This is a prime example, right, of me drawing things on a chart and then forgetting about them. But look at that. There we go. Grey box drew. God knows when. I haven't got a clue when I drew that grey. Do you know what I wish on TradingView? Is, say you could click on something like this, and you could see, like, it just had a little thing saying history or something, where you could see when you actually drew that thing. That would be a great addition to TradingView, that if you could actually, like, just pull something up where it just say, like, history or whatever, and it'd just tell you the date when you actually drew this, because I've got no idea when I drew this box. And STX fell inside it, basically right to the middle, and then bounced very nicely. But yeah, I mean, this thing, you got to be careful with this, because this trade, well, this used to trade very, very, very strongly, obviously, when Bitcoin's in an uptrend, because it's a Bitcoin project. So I kind of wouldn't underestimate it, but I mean, this has been hammered on it. You know, this and other things have been absolutely hammered over the past kind of year. So they are due a good bounce. Now, it will definitely face a really big obstacle here, in and around here, in my opinion. Kind of like 42 to kind of like 46, that kind of 10% region. On the weekly anyway, you can see definitely that is where it would come into supply. I think that's where it would struggle. As of now, I don't think I would be like kind of in a rush to try and short it personally. Again, you know, you can do what you like, can't you? I'm not a financial advisor, so you know, it's just my opinion. But I think definitely, you know, up towards here, you can see obviously that's where it would come into supply. But you know, it bounced where it needed to. You know, it came back into, look at that. I mean, the fact it came back into the levels of where it started the whole run. If we actually just zoom out, let me turn Stonksy off for a second. You can actually just see it properly. You zoom out on that. How crazy is that? Look at this. Like, obviously drawings from back there, 2020, 2024 May. But if you actually look at that, I mean, all this uptrend, you know, from 26 cents all the way up to nearly $4, all that just completely wiped out, and all the way back to a starting point of, you know, 3 years ago. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. That and this isn't alone. You know, it's not the only one, is it? There'll be loads of examples like this, and there'll be loads of ones that have even gone lower. But it's just crazy, like, just, you know, uptrend and then just completely reverse back to the starting point 3 years ago. But you know, this thing just, yeah, I mean, there's definitely an area on the chart where risk reward looks good, which personally I would say in and around here. Again, you know, you can do as you will. But I think at some point this year, I don't know when, you know, whether it comes early on, whether it comes kind of in the middle of the year, whether it comes towards the end of this year, we don't know. At some point, I do think that you just see an absolute ripper on altcoins at some point, and you'll get kind of something like this to a degree. Again, may not be like that ferocious and that, you know, that many X or whatever, but there's only so long that you can beat, you know, you can beat a dead horse. And with the order books obviously being very thin, then I think it won't take much to push things a lot. And especially things like this, you know, it wouldn't take much for this to push this back up towards $1 and just completely wipe out all that downtrend, and then trap people up here and then mint it all the way back down. So yeah, I'd be wary, but for sure. Get the electrician to run Cat 6E to all the rooms to be hardwired for internet. I got really good internet, mate. I got 5 of 500. I've got really, really good internet, even like wirelessly. So I'll be all right. And where I am in the house, basically, like the box will be like up against one wall, and I'll be directly on the other side of the wall in the next room. So I'll be like basically as close to the broadband box as you can get without being stood next to it, pretty much. I'll be like right next to it, just on the other side of the wall. Dot, yeah, let's have a look at Dot, yeah. I mean, yeah, this has made somewhat of a push, hasn't it? But again, you know, I wouldn't say it's very inspiring. The problem with this is, right, you look at this, and this is the major problem with Dot. It has swung, you know, it's kind of swung below that launch candle and gone up on it. But the problem with this is there's just no real price action, is there? Like, there's just nothing there. Yeah, you've got this candle here from when it launched. You've then got obviously what was created at the end of last year, and then that's it. You know, there's no price action down here really at all, especially to the left. All of it is very recent. You've just got no price action to go off. So it's kind of like, what do you do in this situation? And really, all you're doing is you're basically just hoping, aren't you? You know, you can't really judge anything. You know, you can't look at this chart and go, oh, I've got, you know, a really bullish view on this because of this or whatever. Like, there's just like, can't really judge it like that much of it. But, you know, again, I think if the market gets really good, then you could see Dot do something. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of it. Just my personal view on it is just I'm not a fan of it at all. But again, you know, that doesn't mean to say that I'm right or whatever. You know, I'm just not a fan of it because, like, I just think there's just no price action there, and it just could never get going again, could it? Like, this was kind of like the final hurrah for it here, and then it's just done nothing but go down since. So yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but hopefully, you know, if you're holding or whatever, I hope really that, you know, it'll make a U-turn and you can make some money of it. But yeah, the S&P 500 made an all-time high yesterday if you missed it. So yeah, this made an all-time high yesterday. Now, we did draw something actually, and this is going to be in the CSE newsletter. But the S&P, and again, you know, we didn't really have much to go off here apart from obviously just the line of resistance towards all-time high. But if you do like your patterns, there is an ascending triangle that was formed on it, and obviously we did get kind of like a little fake out above it, didn't we, and then drop back in. But we're kind of at the point of obviously squeeze here, where price is wedged against diagonal and horizontal resistance. Horizontal support. Oh, sorry, horizontal resistance and diagonal support. So obviously there's not really any room for the price to go apart from squeeze up or squeeze down. At the moment, it's obviously broke out. So yeah, I mean, depends on if you like your patterns or not. But you know, if you were to take this and kind of, you know, do the old school measuring, and then you kind of measure that from a breakout, you know, that would put us at 7,300 if it followed, you know, obviously the idea of an ascending triangle breakout. Either way, I mean, it does suggest that we're going over 7,000 at some point soon. Or otherwise, it's going to fall down, and then obviously we'll come in here, probably break through this diagonal, and then fall out to maybe here again, or God knows where. But yeah, big news yesterday, obviously. Another all-time high on the S&P. So that was good stuff. Do make sure you drop a big like on the stream as well, please. Do make sure, if you haven't, drop a like. It does help us out, and we are back to streaming now, back on the stream schedule. So we should hopefully start getting the algorithm again. That would be good. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, yeah, things are looking good. Things are looking good. And I mean, ETH's a funny one, isn't it? Because ETH didn't really, like, ETH hasn't really built the kind of range that you saw on Bitcoin or Sol. I mean, Sol built a really nice range, then obviously fell out of it. So Sol built a really nice range, fell out of it, and then kind of built this range in here, didn't it? And then obviously he's back in this range now. Bitcoin built this range, you know, really nice, and then obviously built kind of a low time frame one in here through over Christmas into New Year. but still, you know, within this wider range. ETH's a little bit of a funny one because it's not really built anything, has it? Like, kind of all over the place. Like, it was kind of building one here. Hang on. It was kind of building one here initially, but then that kind of like went to the wind, and it's not really kind of stuck to that either, has it? So yeah, ETH's a bit of a funny one structurally. It's like, where do you actually like look for kind of your prime place for maybe confirming a breakout out of this consolidation? It is a bit of a tricky one on ETH, I think. But it looks good. You know, it looks good. I mean, on a day like yesterday as well, obviously closed really nicely green, while Bitcoin closed red. You know, Bitcoin closed red, you know, marginally red, but you know, that was a much stronger daily close on ETH. Same for Sol. But yeah, ETH just doesn't look the same. It's not formed really that kind of solid range. And if it, more than anything, it looks kind of more like a W, doesn't it? It looks kind of more like a W than actually like building a middle, you know, kind of like this. So maybe this is the point of maybe this is the point of Thingio for ETH. You know, maybe instead of building a range, we just built a giant W instead, which does look more like a W than a range to me, anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, and I'm gonna get a drink and stuff. So do make sure you stick around. Don't go anywhere. You know, going to be on for US Open and all that jazz. Plenty more to cover when I get back as well. And do make sure, of course, you drop a like. But yeah, don't go anywhere. Stick with me. Go and get can't speak. Go grab a drink yourself, or go to the toilet or whatever. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. And yeah, we'll obviously then carry on with what we're doing. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. back. What's been going on in chat? Oh, we got Barra saying good afternoon to you, mate. How are you doing? At least get an internet cable from hub to your office. 2 weeks ago, our Wi-Fi hub took at S. Hardwire was the only thing that saved us. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the last one I had was alright, so does anybody know if... I've no idea. Why has my camera done that again? Lawrence, how we doing? Great to see you. You're coming back a lot more frequently now, aren't you, mate? Bram Tigglers, yeah. Yeah, thank you for everyone being a bit patient, obviously, while I was gone there. But yeah, like we were saying, you know, ETH don't really have a range, so to speak, at the moment. Not really built anything apart from support, obviously down towards kind of 2008. That is deemed solid support. But apart from that, to the upside, you've kind of just got like highs just everywhere, haven't we? Had these 3 highs, and we've obviously got this one now. So maybe probably in and around here. You know, if you were looking for kind of a place on ETH there, how would you draw the range? Probably like that. Like that. It's probably what you'd be looking at anyway. Just a bit more. It's a bit more spread out, isn't it? No, it's a bit more spread out. Is it time for vote? Oh yeah, I need to get the vote up, don't I? I need to get the vote. I don't know how to get the vote. I might not be able to do the vote today actually, because the YouTube thing has changed. So if I pulled the voting thing up now, because I haven't got my second screen with me here today. So if I pulled it up, it would actually show something that it shouldn't, which I just want to be a bit wary of. So I might not actually be able to do the thing today because I'm just running off one screen. So I would have to go on it on this screen. I don't really want to do that because yeah, YouTube have done something where it actually shows something that it shouldn't. So I think we might just have to let me fix this camera anyway. You might see my you might see the messy room again. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Let's see. Oh, is it gonna? No. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm in my old room at my mum's streaming this week while some work gets done at my house. Right, so that's not working. So what I have to do is just go out of here, leave the studio, and then come back in. And there we go, we're fixed. But yeah, it's an absolute mess, and it's just basically been used, I think, as like just a storage room because I don't live here, and I haven't lived here for a while. So it's just stuff everywhere, and basically I've just got my desk, my old desk that I used to have, just here, a chair, and then just full of rubbish all around me. Makes for quite an interesting view, that's for sure. Let me get rid of that anyway. I need to get Stonksy back up actually, didn't I? I didn't put it on again before when we were looking at something. But yeah, we've got about half an hour to go until US Open. So I tell you what we'll do today is I'll definitely be able to do the vote on Friday's stream. No, Nick. I know that you like doing the vote, mate. I'll definitely be able to do it on Friday's stream. But what we'll do today is just do it in the chat. I'll say up. We'll just put your voting in the chat. I'm going to say up on open. But yeah, let me know in the chat. What do you think? I mean, today's a bit mad. ETH's down 3%, Sol's down just over 2.5. XRP did well the other day, didn't it? I mean, if you look at these, a lot of these Stonksy is still long on them on the hourly as well. You know, if you look at that, Stonksy is still long on XRP from 187. So, you know, that's 29% there, still up 19% there. Aster's actually switching. Look at that. So this is interesting. You can see this in real time. You don't get this very often when we're actually streaming. If you actually have a look, in the past hour, Aster went from the green into the red. So Aster's now in the red. But if you look at when the green came in there, it went all the way up to kind of like 15, 16, 14%. Actually closed out there. So that's when the green closed out. So it closed for 8%, which is, you know, still really good, isn't it? 8% move in a couple of days. And now we're in the red, so we're already in a profit on the red here. So the red opened on this candle, we're already down here on this candle. So the red's already in a profit, but there's an actual like live one that's happened on stream. Obviously in the past hour, past hourly candle, we shifted from green to red on Aster. Yeah, what a nice run. It's already catching the downside as well. Nick says down. Oh, why is that zoomed in again? Oh, honestly, this camera. There we go. There's the messy room again. Let's see if it'll. There we go. No, never heard of it, mate. So, no, never heard of it. Good afternoon, Bosco. How are we doing? Good afternoon to you. Bitcoin is slipping now. It's slipping down, isn't it? Yeah, no idea. But we're slowly approaching US Open. I mean, what was I going to look at before? I can't remember. I mean, do remember as well this week, we have got some data. I mean, got some data today. Or has it already happened? No, it happens at 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock. Let me go and pull it up for you. So yeah, 3 o'clock. This one just happened in the past hour. ADP employment change. We've got ISM services PMI at 3, and then on Friday NFP. Obviously, you got average hourly earnings and the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, but this is going to be the big one, NFP on Friday. So do make sure you keep an eye out for that, and that will be on stream as well. We'll be on stream for that when it gets released, so that should be a good one. But yeah, I mean, we've had an explosive start to the year, haven't we? You know, we've had a really good start to the year, but it's kind of slowly unwinding a little bit, isn't it? You know, just a little bit. Mainly with altcoins. Altcoins kind of feeling it. CME at 90.6. Let's have a look. I haven't really looked at the CME gap this week, to be honest. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. There's one down here as well. Look at that. So the CME gap, let's mark it out. So you got one here, one down towards there. So far we've filled in there. So far we've filled in that much of it. And then you've actually got another one down here. There you go. So we've got two CME gaps, which is actually interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that there was two. You got this one, and then you've got this one here. That's yet to be filled as well. So that does, I mean, maybe not so good for looking for upside, like, but yeah, there's two CME gaps to the downside. I mean, this one would basically take us all the way back close to the start of the year, wouldn't it? Just retrace the full move. But yeah, nicely. Thank you for letting me know. I was meant to look at the CME chart yesterday, and I completely forgot, so I wasn't even aware like where the CME gaps was. But that is fascinating. The fact there's two open. You've got. I mean, you would imagine from where it is actually. You know, this one looks like you may as well come and close this while it's here. I mean, I don't remember a time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember a time when we had two CME gaps open so close together because of obviously how this opened. You know, this was because the CME was shut for a day. There. Because the CME was shut for a day on New Year's Day, got that gap, and then we obviously got the one over the weekend. So, yeah, I can't remember the last time we would have had two gaps so close together. Obviously, because we don't normally get a big break like that on the CME. Normally just the weekend, isn't it? So that is very interesting in itself, yeah. That is really interesting in itself. Definitely something to watch for. Two gaps. What's it? There was a story of like the CME going 24/7 trading, wasn't there, on Bitcoin, which basically would mean that there's no CME gap ever. But I don't know, like, if that's actually coming into play or not, or whether it be later this year. But I know the CME applied, didn't they, to have 24/7 Bitcoin trading, Bitcoin and crypto trading, which would mean obviously that there'd be no CME gap ever because it would be 7 days a week. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. And if you see as well, we have a look at the past 10 minutes. What was the price of Bitcoin 10 minutes ago? Oh, to be fair, no, so it doesn't really look like, this is obviously 10 minutes delayed. So it doesn't actually look like there's any sort of price discrepancy on the CME against the Bitcoin price now. For a lot of last year, there was a premium on the CME, wasn't there? That seems to have gone. If you look at the price 10 minutes ago, round about where the CME is now. So it seems to be all lined up. Yeah, we've got 15 minutes until... Yeah, we've got 15 minutes until the US market opens anyway. Anything interesting going on Poly Market? Let's see. What price will Bitcoin hit in January? 100k, 39%. 80k, 18%. I don't think it's that bad to take either. I mean, if you took both, right? Let's say you took both of these, and you put $100 on 100k and $100 on Thingo. So $100 on that, you'd win 256. So obviously, if you then put $100 on 80, then you would win $56 overall, wouldn't you? Because obviously you'd lose $100 on something else. If you put $100 on that, and then you'd win 55, and then say you lost your $100 on 100. So then that means you profit $355 overall. That actually might be an interesting tactic, because you got to think in January. Surely it has like a volatile move. So 100 or 80 look reasonable, don't they? I mean, obviously the kicker would be if it was that, because you wouldn't win much. Obviously, this is looking at $100. I mean, the kicker would be if it just didn't hit any. If it just stayed in this range, and it just didn't take any of them. Well, I mean, that may be a tactic going in. I don't know. Maybe that would make an interesting series or something. Is if like you do take both sides. You know, you pick two. You're like, right. Oh, I mean, you could even pick the biggest ones. Obviously, 80 and then 105 are both priced at the same. So they're kind of the two ones. So it's kind of like, do you do that on both of them, and then obviously go for the big ones, or do you take a more conservative side in the hopes that at least then you get your money back and then win a little something? It's quite interesting that though, isn't it? Like, say you put 300 on, then you win that. So say you put 300 on that, and then you put not 300 on that, but let's say 200 on that. So your whole bet is 500. So if that one comes in, you profit $600. And then if that one comes in, because obviously the odds on that are a bit high, you have to put a bit more on to obviously up it a bit. Then if you put that 200 on that, then you'd profit 269 overall, obviously with losing the 200 on 80. So it might be an interesting tactic, that, I don't know. Has anyone ever looked at doing that before? Oh, come on. Why does my camera keep doing this? $24.7 on CME, plan for end of Q1. Oh, well, there we go then. So I've got a couple more months of the CME gap, and then it's dead. Apart from obviously the ones that are just open from lower down. So there we go. Thank you for that, Paul. We've got January, February, and then some/all of March to enjoy the CME gap, and then it's going to be dead unless obviously Bitcoin then goes for downside ones. I mean, where even are downside ones? My camera will come back on in a minute, by the way. It just keeps doing that zooming in thing, which is really annoying. But let's go and have a look. Let's see. On the daily, we see any gaps to the downside. I don't even know where the big gaps are. Like, I've actually, what a devil I am. I've already marked them out. So that unless I'm wrong, the next actual like noticeable gap to the downside in terms of high time frame is 20k. Is this one here? Now this one was made. I can tell you this bit of backstory for you. This was when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and then obviously USDC depegged a bit, which obviously just caused mass panic. Bitcoin just fell obviously from 25k down to here. That's what this time period was in March of 2023, so nearly 3 years ago. That's what caused this gap to form here, was that. We do have that one, and then it seems actually, oh, I've already done. Look at this. I've already done the legwork in the past. The next gap is down at 9K. Imagine if Bitcoin went to 9K. Yeah, so there actually is a gap there at 9K. Look at that. I wonder if there's one's lower. I wonder if there's one's any lower than that. Is any at like 4K or 3K or anything? I can't see any there. There doesn't seem to be any there. This is more just so. This is more so just for fun rather than suggesting that Bitcoin's going back to 5K. I'm obviously not doing that. Actually, there you go. There's one. There's one that never got filled as well. So that opened there. And we have the tiniest gap there. There you go. There's another one. 11K. Yeah. So there we go. There we go, people. There's the CME gaps. From what I can see anyway, unless there's another one. Is that one there? Is there a small gap there? Well, I think there is, isn't there? There is. There's the smallest of gaps on that one. I don't even know if you count that. But technically, it looks like there's a gap. There is the smallest of gaps. There's a $150 gap there. I don't even know if really you count that. Like, and again here, smallest of gaps there. Are these actual gaps, or are these just looking a bit funny on the CME chart? Because again, it looks like there's the ever so smallest of gap there. And again, I don't even know if you count this, because it is majority closed, isn't it? But I suppose a gap is technically a gap regardless. You know, there's like a couple of $100 between them two ones there. So yeah, interesting to go and have a look at anyway. We've got US Open coming at us in 10 minutes. So do let me know in the chat. Obviously, we don't have the poll up today. Be back doing the poll on Friday. Right, let's try and get this camera back up. Hopefully for the final time today. Right. Is it not even? Yeah, there we go. There's my messy room. Doesn't even look real, that, does it? Oh, and it's doing that thing again. Hang on. There we go. I'm back. What was I saying then? I can't remember what I was saying. I haven't got a clue. But yeah, please do make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't. And if you are new, if you happen to be new, subscribe. If you're watching over on X, please come over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. I did put out a really nice video yesterday. If we go and have a look. If you haven't watched it yet, yeah, please do go and take a look. I like, obviously, first video as well of 2026. But yeah, I thought it was a good one. So yeah, please do go and take a look and see what you guys think. Definitely worth a watch, and I'll definitely appreciate it. So we're falling off into US Open. Oh, look who it is. It's Stonksy. It's the Phantom Beach Dumper. I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? How's yourself? Are you all good? It's great to see you. It's great to see you. Did you have a nice festive period, a New Year period, Stonksy? Mate, it's good to see you. I've missed you. I want to give you a great big kiss if I could. I'd give you a great big kiss if I could. How's the beach? How's the beach? Are you leaving some nice pebbles on the beach? Yeah, we've got 6 minutes to go until US Open. Where is everything at? Obviously, Bitcoin has had a downtrend so far today. The S&P is basically at all-time highs. Obviously, Bitcoin resulting in negative on Solana, negative on ETH, negative on altcoins in general. In stock market, what have we got? You got Nvidia up 0.3% pre-market. Apple up, down 0.1%. Meta down near 0.5%. Microsoft down 0.2%. Amazon down 0.3%. Tesla up 0.5%. And Google up 0.2%. So that gives the S&P a total of basically break even on the day so far from obviously turn of the day in futures. So that's where we're up to. This was a hammer, wasn't it? Look at that. And that was like right on New York as well, which right on London session. You can see it 9 o'clock there. You don't normally get that, do we? Normally get absolute ball all on London / Europe session. So yeah, weird. That just got absolutely hammered, didn't it? For like probably the UK government selling it. That's probably what it is. Probably the UK government selling the rest of the Bitcoin. I mean, that wouldn't even surprise you, would it? If they decided to sell that. I'm sure we'd have probably seen it being moved by now if it was. Probably only a matter of time now. Beach is banging as always. Nice, mate. Nice. Are you still going every day? You still going every day to do it? I did, mate. Yeah, I had a nice relaxing one, to be honest. Yeah, it was nice and relaxing. Thank you. It was good. Yeah, I had a good one. Good to get back to work, though. Nice to get back to work. Yeah, I got 4 minutes. Unfortunately, as well, I don't have my bell with me. So yesterday I had to make a noise with my mouth, which I'll have to do again. So be prepared for that. They're being shipped. My 8th. Cool. Three minutes to go, though. We've got 3 minutes to go, and then we'll see what we're dealt with. But yeah, something I was talking about just before was the potential interest in picking 2 prices each month like this. And you pick one that's kind of a bit more probable and one that's potentially not as probable. And then you kind of do it where as long as one of them comes in, you're in profit. So what platform do you use to trade stonks? And can we use Prime XBT in the UK? Yes, mate, I can. You can. You can. There's a link to Prime XBT in the description. Go grab it. I'll drop it into the chat now, though. Yeah, if you do want to trade stonks, or if you want to trade FX or gold, if you want to trade gold, obviously gold's a big one for people now, innit? I'll drop the link in here. There you go. And that goes for anyone else. You know, anyone else that wants to sign up on there, go and grab that. If you do want to, you know, just trade crypto in general, and you're looking for a new exchange, then I'll drop the BLOFIN link in there as well. Go and have a look in the description. There's a couple there. You've got BLOFIN, you've got WEEX as well. You know, WEEX really good non-KYC exchange. But yeah, for stocks, gold, FX pairs, you can do all that on Prime XBT, obviously using USDT. So yeah, that's in the chat, and yeah, it's in the description as well for anyone else that wants to kind of pick and choose. You know, there's 3 options in there. You've got BLOFIN, WEEX, and Prime XBT. So, and you can obviously trade crypto on Prime XBT as well if you wanted to. We've got 17 people watching now, so thank you very much for jumping in. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream. We are back to streaming, obviously, now for this year. But with having not streamed over the festive period, we are kind of in YouTube jail. So you dropping a like will help me kind of get back in YouTube's good books. Ding, 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 ding. I don't have my bell with me, so I'm going to make the noise myself. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. We'll have the bell back on Friday. The nice brass bell that I ring on US Open will be back on Friday. Don't you worry. So far, we've got up. Granted, we are on the low time frame here, so that up has come in the form of like $50, $100, but we have got up so far. So yeah. The red background is back. Yes, the red background, this is on a 5-minute, has been on since 92.7.5 / 92.7ish. So the hour is still green now, I believe. But yeah, red background on. I've made it a bit more dense as well, and I got rid of the channels for today's stream, so you could see the background a bit more clearly. So I did turn the channels off for this stream, so you could see the background a bit more clearly. Yeah, we are dumping now on open. Boo. So for those of you that weren't around, actually, that wasn't here, kind of the past hour or so. It wasn't even the hour, was it? It was probably the past like 20 minutes. Right, we were looking at this. We do have 2 open CME gaps. Obviously, the price is heading towards the first one, which it closed a tiny amount. Here's the gap. Here's where we close a very small amount of it there. But there's the rest of this gap open here. And we actually do have a second one, which was opened on New Year's Day. So, yeah, we got 2 open CME gaps. And obviously, the second one is back down towards the start of where Bitcoin started to rally. To be a complete retrace of the move, which has happened actually in a couple of occasions. It happened in 2024 and it happened in 2025, where the price went up initially, then crashed back down after going up the first couple of days, and then went on to go up for the rest of the month. So if we do retrace all the way back down, it's not the end of the world at all. You know, you've still got the rest of the month. But yeah, them 2 open CME gaps are very interesting because they're quite close together relatively, you know, about 2-3K apart. And having 2 open at the same time, so close together, is wild. What's your thoughts on the market for rest of Jan? Up, down, or sideways chop? And just, well, I mean, my gut feeling says that we will go and do something like this. So this is what my gut feeling says. If I pull up the daily, but my gut feeling says, and this, you know, this may be wrong. You know, this may be wrong. Don't obviously take it as gospel. But my gut feeling says what we will do is we will come down, which, you know, we'd close them CME gaps as well, but basically come for these lows here. You see all these lows that were formed for the end of December and January? All them lows look a bit too safe for me, and they form too neatly. I mean, if you look at them, they just like, none of them swept. So you had this low, then that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one, and that one. So none of them got swept. So my gut feeling says that we'd come down and sweep these lows in the next like kind of week, and then we'll either obviously go up from there or touch support, which is in towards 85, and then towards the end of January start building a rally for a breakout to the upside, because that will be the 5th touch. You know, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 tries at this. You know, obviously first one here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th try we should break resistance, because obviously, you know, typically each time it gets weaker. So that's kind of what my gut feeling says, is it seems just a bit too easy just to give up only in January, straight away. You know, start a new year, just up only, just give everyone a nice big reward and just basically just pay everyone. Instead, you rip it up to start. What we've done is obviously come up and grab liquidity. Look, this is the peak here from this local range that was, and we just basically just tipped up. We just tipped ever so above it, didn't we? There. So the upside liquidity has been cleared. So my thinking is, you know, come down, clear out these lows here, either then reverse it or just come down and touch support, which would be basically 85, and then for the rest of January start building a bid back into here, and then hopefully some point towards the end of January, if it can do it fast enough, maybe into the start of February, actually break out of here and then start to head towards kind of like 106, 107. That is what like kind of like my initial feeling is. I just think it's just it just seems a bit too easy just to go up only and break out and just kind of like just leave them lows untapped and just like leave them alone. But again, you know, could be wrong. We'll see what Stonksy says as well. Stonksy's still long on the 1 hour, so we'll see if that obviously goes to red or not. What causes CME gap? So the CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's an exchange in America, which basically like all the futures run off. You know, all your futures like your S&P 500, your NASDAQ, your Bitcoin futures, obviously other crypto futures, like massive exchange, global exchange. And basically that shuts for 1 hour day through the week. So between, I think it's 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Our time, which is, I think, like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. over there. It's one of the two anyway. I can't remember if it's 10 to 11. I'm sure it's 10 to 11 it shuts, or it might be 11 till 12. I can't remember anyway. But anyway, it shuts for an hour a day through the week. But then obviously on a Friday it closes. I'll show you. So obviously if we have a look here. Now, what caused these two gaps was because it was shut on New Year's Day. So obviously what caused this first gap was it was shut on New Year's Day. So you can see there, it shut at 9 o'clock on Wednesday the 31st and then was shut for a day. So when it reopened at 11 o'clock New Year's Day, obviously it had been shut for just over 24 hours. So then that created the first gap. But then obviously what happens is it shuts on Friday. So there you go, 9 o'clock. So this is UK time. So 9 o'clock UK time, it shuts. And then obviously it's shut then until 11 o'clock Sunday. That's what creates the gaps. Usually you don't obviously have two. You normally just have either the hourly one that it's shut through the week or the weekend one. But obviously with this being New Year's Day, it was shut, which obviously then gave chance for another gap to be formed. But most of the time you don't get a gap through the week. You know, it's rare that you get a gap formed through the week. Like if you see here, here's an example of a gap that was formed through the week. So you can see here on Tuesday, yesterday, you can see obviously trading, then 9 o'clock. So it shuts 9 o'clock, 9 till 10. There's the answer. I think that changes though, obviously with the UK clock change. So for us, it would change. I'm sure it goes to 10 and 11 p.m. at some point. But anyway, so you can see that shuts and then it reopens. So it shuts between, it shuts at 10 o'clock after this 9 o'clock candle and then reopens at 11. But you can see there, it created a very small gap. So there's obviously where that shut at 9 o'clock. And then when it reopens at 11, you can see it reopened around about $100 higher. So that's an example of a very small gap that was created in the hour that it was shut. You can see another one here. Oh no, sorry, that's middle of the day. That must have just been created on the turn of the hour. So you can see there, obviously there's an example of it through the week when it's shut for an hour. every day. But obviously the main ones are when it's shut for a weekend. But it just so happens, obviously, this one got created because it was New Year's Day. Normally, I don't think the CME takes too many holidays. Obviously, New Year's Day is being one of them. But yeah, that's where the second one was created. I'm not getting bullish until we get a weekly close above 107k, but I do think we'll see a rally to 100k. So yeah, I mean that would be amazing. You know, a recapture of 107/108k would be mega. Afternoon, Delta. How we doing, mate? And why do people always say gaps need to be filled? Because there's a gap in the CME chart. It just generally becomes a point of interest for Bitcoin to be attracted to. Really, it's just like basically it's just a point of interest now. It doesn't happen so often now, but like previously, you know, kind of like 2021-ish, 2022-ish, like pre then, the gap would always be shut on like a Monday/Tuesday. Like, you know, it was basically like a free trade nearly every week, where you just like obviously just trade Bitcoin into the CME gap. Now, obviously, it takes a lot longer sometimes for the gaps to close. You know, sometimes the gap remain open for a couple of days, couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of months. I know, obviously, we had one, didn't we? Last year, which was open for probably a good like 5-6 months, down towards 70k. But it's just like an attraction for the price, just where the price is attracted to. And obviously it's a good place for, you know, market makers and exchanges to push the price to fill the gaps. But yeah, we're not really getting much movement on Bitcoin, are we? We're not really getting much movement on it. I think it's gone back up, hasn't it? Yeah, so from where we dropped off, it's gone back up a bit. But yeah, not much movement. But yeah, thank you very much for joining today. Really good getting back in the groove of it. Do make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And of course, make sure you click the links in the description. You know, if you want any exchange to trade on, you've got 3 to choose from in there. Especially, you know, if you want to trade stocks, gold, FX, obviously Prime XBT is in there as well. If you want to just trade on a non-KYC crypto exchange, that's an option, but you've obviously got BLOFIN and WEEX in there as well. Maybe open, you know, you could go for all 3 and obviously claim the sign-up bonuses. Bitcoin's just pumping back towards 92k now. But yeah, big thank you for joining today. It's great to get back in the groove of things. Do make sure, if you haven't, go check out yesterday's video. Yesterday's video is up on the channel here. Do make sure you go check it out. It'd be great to obviously have your guys' feedback on that. I know some of you already have gone and watched it. If you haven't, please go and watch it. Just let me know what you think. Just drop a comment or come in Friday's stream and let me know. Obviously, I'll be back streaming on Friday. So we'll see what brings on that stream and what Bitcoin does in between. But yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're in the Discord, get in there. If you're not, you can sign up to Stonksy in the description. And apart from that, I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.